Hello and welcome to SKTV News. You're watching Primetime English News with HEMABATI. First headlines. Scuffle erupts between protesters and security forces during agitation against Sangai Festival. Kokomi condemns security's action, calls for mass protest tomorrow. Internally displaced persons of multiple relief camps hold protests condemning the Sangai Festival. Asserts the festival is insensitive to their sufferings and looming uncertainty. Vishnupur DC Puja Ilangum calls for collective efforts in conserving the critically endangered Sangai deer. Launches curtain raiser for Sangai Festival at Kirgilamjaw. Supreme Court of India says timelines cannot be imposed on President and governors to grant assent to bills under Article 200 and 201 of Constitution. And JDU leader Nitish Kumar takes oath as Chief Minister of Bihar for record 10th time. Prime Minister Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah attend oath-taking ceremony. Now let's take a look at the news in detail. Tensions erupted in Imphal East district today as security forces resorted to bait and charge and tear gas shelling in controlling the volunteers of Kokomi students organizations, women folk and IDPs who were attempting to storm Hapta Kangjibul, which is being set as the main venue of the Sangai Festival. The incident occurred this afternoon when a large number of the civil bodies representatives, along with IDPs, protested at Palace Compound against the government's decision to organize the Sangai Festival from tomorrow. As the protesters were attempting to storm the main venue of the State Tourism Festival, police and security forces who have been already deployed in and around the site since the past many days tried to stop them from proceeding further. This resulted in the scuffle between the two sides, following which the security forces resorted to bait and charge and few tear gas shelling. Notably, Coordinating Committee on Manipur Integrity Kokomi and many other civil organizations have already announced their endorsement to the IDP's decision to boycott the upcoming Sangai Festival in view of the prevailing chaotic situation in the state.
Sangai Haidi mawongse sumaina doctor ma masaso ai doctor ni haraga nakanda mayam gi chenjala padugi nuai tabagi moi nakanda leijabane ba adu leiri kan du direct leiri doctor ne na hai na ne sumaina mi gi khori gi si collar je pairaga namjala pane ba adu duna ne ba adagi di ma ko na lai adu ga magi man hai sine magi explanation to jina sumaina tang sunna tagi sumaina tang to bane na hai ba direct si di pairaga namjali ne ba doctor ne na jo direct hai rabani adu dai di akoi si da staff ne akoi si direct mabu duna lonjalo na hai tabagi akoi ngaraga leibane ba adai di akoi inform gi to rabane ba adu to ge na tongnari kan da gari ju khanari kan du da ne ba direct moina protester ne na hoi malam mabu di ya do tar ju doctor ne na di hainari ba adu dai gi sumaina to April box so to bane ba koi na even April box so to
magi phone
na je prang ka sina
yum na phone to ge to ma na swai pa ga ki na ma pane ba I wanna say sa khoi di gari da pa ga khoi thong tare ga tong tare bane
chatlage ba khai ne ba aduga adum khangbi da ga adum namjalak pine ba hoji ki police masajuna na tabida atopa magi lakmina ba partner sing hai ga dra moi ga ina ju phone ji mullam ne ba khoi kan na pai horaga sida phone do tar pa de khun ka do bane ba yungi mi do phone to ge to me tan ga da ai di es ma le bagi ma ju ha tang du da suffocate wa ke ma wonder ke to ko.
Meanwhile, Coordinating Committee on Manipur Integrity (COCOMI) has appealed the general public to organize mass sit-in protest tomorrow against government's decision to hold Sangai Festival and against the arrest of its 2 members in today's protest. In a press release signed by its convener Kuraijam Athoba, COCOMI strongly condemned the security forces' action against the protesters during a protest carried out at Palace compound today, terming it ill-behaved. Further claiming that several persons were injured in the security forces' action, besides arresting COCOMI Information and Public Relations convener Laikram Jayanta and member Samurai Latpam Devdada Sharma, Athoba maintained that using excessive force against the protesters and deliberately targeting the CSO's volunteers is an undemocratic act that violates the fundamental civic rights. The COCOMI convener has also stated that a government should not try to suppress the voice of the public and must make sincere effort to resettle the IDPs. He also appealed the general public to stand unitedly against the government's alleged prioritization of Sangai Festival over the fundamental rights of the people. Women vendors at Kwairamban Kaithel protested against the government's decision to hold Sangai Festival today. The women vendors took to the streets of the state's capital market, holding several placards and shouting various slogans denouncing the government's decision. However, they were prevented from proceeding further after rallying for few meters by the police personnel. Speaking to reporters, Kwairamban Nupi Kaithel Sinfam Amadi Shaktam Kanbalup President K.H. Shanti criticized the government for organizing the Sangai Festival amid the turmoil in the state and against the public's wish. She highlighted the untold miseries being endured by the public, stating that thousands of IDPs are still languishing in relief camps and the valley people cannot access to national highways. Expressing strong opposition to the government's decision, Shanti alleged that the government is trying to portray to the outside world that peace and normalcy has been restored in the state by holding the tourism festival. She also urged the same to prioritize the issues of IDPs' resettlement and resolving the crisis instead of rejoicing on festivals.
Mama macha adagi loinamak machin manau leifam chafam khangdana asuk yongna wariba national highway animak chatpa yadadana aikoi si goha manungda chongthadana khajalaga leiriba phibam jida sangai festival pangthoga manipur da shanti leire ing tappe haiba yanana ba jaga mena walgi mafam punamukta sandokna ba walgi mi mayam laga aikoi gi manipur da irang leitre haibadu tangnana ba sinmani haidana aikoi kaithen phamjari ba imai bel sing kaisu khangjadra ba aikoi na Yaninde, Maramaduna, Sangai Festival, Pangtok, the Sangadaba Pesa, Kersindo, IDP Sing the Tadabio, Badusaro, Aduting and Gadabasado, Aduna Moina, Akoi, Parja Singa, Kaisuk the Kangdaba, Manipur the Ladyba, Civil Society or Nation Singna, Toba Yaroena, Lepzaragasu, Moina Namdana Pangtokaniana, Kaliba Tabakse, Masi Pangtokadi, Angambanina, Angini, Adubo, Kangai Pax the Lady, Recha Singna, Yampunamaki Tamoida, Toriba Tabase, Ashikuba, Lalonga Masilaga, Akoi. Apang batahan mani haibo wakhalun do thamoi da thamaga akoi punamak sangai festival is saruk ja gumsi haiba ai miam da pawdil tu pijari.
Internally displaced persons at the Alternative Housing Complex Relief Camp, Langul, staged a sit-in today in protest against the government's decision to hold Sangai Festival from tomorrow. During the protest, the IDPs carried several placards denouncing the government's decision. Speaking on the sidelines, Nganthoibi Mutum, an IDP from Churachandpur, accused the government of belittling the IDPs and trying to influence them to act according to their wish. She also reaffirmed the IDP's stance to boycott the upcoming Sangai festival, adding that they would not be allowed to be swayed by the government's offer of free market stalls at the tourism festival. Ningthaujam Anita, another IDP who took part in a similar protest at Meitei Langul Leima Kulen Laikai Relief Camp, condemned the government for its decision to organize the Sangai festival amid stiff opposition from the public and IDPs. She also asked the government to organize the Sangai festival only after the IDPs are allowed to resettle in their original places.
Sangai festival makoina tawriba ya janinde khoina yum da changaba matamda tawbo oiragadi hoyai aduna tana akhoi de hojik shanti leitribane shanti leitringai matamsida makoina Sangai festival tawgani haina pangthoi baje akhoi suya janinde Sangai festival makoina tawriba je akhoi na suya janinde khoina yum da changaba matamda tawbo oiragadi hoyai aduna tana akhoi de hojik shanti leitribane shanti leitringai matamsida makoina Sangai festival tawgani haina pangthoi baje akhoi suya janinde.
IDPs taking refuge at the relief camp located at the veterinary office Kurai staged a sit-in today against the government's plan to hold the Sangai festival amidst the ongoing crisis. During the protest, the IDPs displayed placards which read, "We are Indians, not refugees. We want to go home. We boycott Sangai festival. First resettlement, next Sangai festival, and free movement first, next Sangai festival." Speaking to reporters, former Meitei Council President Fulindro denounced the government's plan to hold Sangai festival amid the chaotic situation in the state, saying the government should prioritize resettling IDPs, opening national highways, and resolving the crisis first. He condemned the government's manner of handling the IDPs, alleging that they are being treated inhumanly, confined to camps and receiving barely a square meal a day. Fulindro further demanded the government to address the concerns of the IDPs and the general public before organizing any mega festival like the Sangai Festival.
Moredagi, Churasanpurdagi, Kampopuri Chalakpa, relief camp the Labami Mam, Hawaii Karacharaga, Jen Boiler, Luitumana, Bharat Sarkar, Manipur Sarkana, Kubutaki, Mongse, Masi, Jumda, resettlement of the Bao Festival Set on the Pamdi, Oji, Aquina, National Highway 102, Amachong, National Highway 37, Imphal, Dimapur, Amachong, Imphal, Badarpur, Ilambi, Punamak Tingler, Gamatese, Mayok Pachapuda, Gumna, Mapana Suktopa, Sugayadana economy, Sukam Sokchala Matamsida, Sangai Festival, C, PR Sarkar Sina, Kaito Iba Sembam C, Sayan Ayan, Lusamina Siena, Sinbagi Moni, Masi Festival C, Aquina, Tawan Bapam, the Adana, Masi, Sidan Protest of Jerivani.
Internally displaced persons who are residing at Wangjing Kodompopi Sports Complex also organized a sit-in, condemning government for holding Sangai Festival amid unresolved crisis. People held placards that read, "Free movement first, next Sangai Festival. First resettlement, next Sangai Festival. We boycott Sangai Festival" during the protest. Speaking on the sideline, a displaced person from More, Romi Bala, highlighted the plights of those taking shelter at various relief camps, urged government to organize Sangai Festival only after ensuring their return to their original homes and only when national highways are restored for free movement, while calling the festival as ill-timed and insensitive.
Manipur da leiriba mafam khudimak che khoina chaningba mafam da chatpa yaraba free movement oiraba matam da lala ji loigadaba neba adui matam da tawningba festival tawbiu sangai festival tawgera kari tawge tawbiu hojik makti akoigi awaba se kitang ubiu haina koi haijaningi mayamna de akoi ji yam nungai ni haina khalamba yae relief camp da leibisibu kayam nungai ram doino migi mayumna nong phadok thungba jibu kayam nungai geba akoi ni hojik leiriba je migi mayumna nong phadok thungba neba adubu migi mayumda nong phadok thungba di yumda haningba matam da hanba yae ba akoi gi hojik Hallage haiba matamda hanpham leite ba yum leite inkhol leite lam leite lan thum leite leibang matum ma khoi gi ne haiba da leiba nate ba aduna khoi yam pende nong mata tagi pi kangba numi se khoi yaude aduna paliba lengak sina ju khangbiu akhoi gi awaba ji ubiu akhoi.
Women folk in Thoubal also took out protests against government's plan to hold Sangai Festival. Speaking on the sideline, a protester named Irom Subhashini asserted that the festival is untimely and ignores the sufferings of IDPs. During the protest, people chanted slogans against Sangai Festival and demanded for resettlement of displaced persons to their original homes and for free movement in hill districts.
Ayeng tang punga mathoi dagi haugadoriba Sangai Festival ase koko minasu tawba yaroi miyamna su tawba yaro ato pa luk kaya amana su tawba yaroi haina akoi ge sigi mayok ta governor asina Sangai Festival tawdaba yade haisina haina governor asina tawsilakpa se aduki mate akoi yaningde hujik relief camp da leiriba mayam singse mayumda hana hanjal hangadamni mayumda si bawba hanjal hanba ngamdringai Sairak asida moina Sangai Festival tawrakpa haibase akoi gidi yamna laibak thibani governor na akoi maitai mitai proof asigi mayok ta leibani haina akoi na lawi.
Displaced persons from Torbung Bangla who are currently taking shelter at Samuro High School took out a sit-in expressing their condemnation of Sangai Festival. Speaking on the sideline, an internally displaced person named Chabungbam Radhe described the nature of life they are leading at relief camps, where they feel hopeless about a bright future. Chabungbam Radhe further demanded government to hold Sangai Festival only after ensuring the resettlement at their homes.
Yang wana chele koi kong tabak sindan jarukte sada phani ema puritlam nitli sida hene koi karimte aukte cheli chari ba mayam se mayam ne pibi raga nusi bi na pire koi se chapa ngaktani asi bauta ju sarkar na kaitare lili kem da leiba mi gi paisa to koro du kaitare la du kaitare koi kotati amata yogi de koi naji karaga suno ma tawra koi sarkar na khar thakpa siga koi na karaga suno ma je phasa to koi ji hinjari ni Sangai.
On the other hand, HEMABATI members of Kontha Khabam Manipur Lekai also took out protests at the whole of YSN Club, showing their solidarity to internally displaced persons and Kukumi, who are boycotting the planned Sangai festival. Speaking on the sideline, a HEMABATI member Thaudam Sonolata expressed strong disappointment of government's decision to hold Sangai festival before resolving the crisis, which has left many displaced from their homes.
Manipur ki sahi hom pharakadawraba irang asigi warisin poraktri sera asida pyar lengakna Manipur da Sangai festival pangthokani haina tawhiba asi Manipur paza ama oina akhoi suya yajanide maram adra Kontha Khabam maning lekai khogi HEMABATI singna ngasi kokomi amadi IDP singna satmina duna kuchin medana duna wakak khungjang ama sakchili ba asida thogatuna Sangai festival asi yaningde utpa oina wakak mifam asi akoina pangthokjabani.
Internally displaced persons, IDPs, residing in Sajiwa relief camp staged a sit-in today opposing the government's plan to organize Sangai Festival 2025. The demonstration was held at a junction connecting Sajiwa Jail Road and Imphal Ukrul Road, where protesters held placards reading "First Resettlement, Next Sangai Festival," "Free Movement First, Next Sangai Festival," and "We Boycott Sangai Festival." Speaking to media person Sakilamam Ibiyaima, an IDP from Iko Sadhu Koiring, currently staying in Sajiwa relief camp, said displaced families are living worse than animals, enduring severe suffering for over 2 years. She stated that celebrations like Sangai Festival should only be held after all IDPs are safely resettled in their homes. She added that while the administration has proposed certain festival features for IDPs, they do not feel any sense of celebration in their current condition.
Sangai festival je relief camp da laiba akoi di sarukto yaninge yaningdo akoi bahani gimna sangan biro matungda laibaki sugumba kumai je pangthokko koina pamjai haidare akoi ju harauna salto ya janini yumju laitaba kaimju laitaba koina kamaina akoi na harau kumai je saru ya doino relief camp da laiba akoi ji mi de sane hena maruina lawgo haiba akoi warau jabado haidare akoi na damaina khalle yumju na taba sida akoi gi puning thamoi akoi na tawba thabak khudimase amatta laitaba laite.
PA to the Rajya Sabha, MP Leshim Basana Jauba has submitted a memorandum to Manipur Governor Ajay Kumar Bhala, urging him to take action against IGP of Manipur Police Themthing Ngashangwa for showing alleged unruly behavior and threat against the Rajya Sabha MP and his security personnel. Sanakonung Angom Ningthau Angom Poireiton informed this to reporters during a press meet held today at Sanakonung. He alleged that IGP Themthing Ngasangwa barged inside the residential compound of the MP and threatened the security personnel of the MP that he will file FIR against them by charging that Sana Jauba is responsible for organizing rally of the internally displaced person by sheltering them and giving them refuge. He also allegedly shouted and threatened the security personnel of the MP.
Sibai Singh Sanakunungi, the Leviva Quaipunum Potari Matamda, Kung Kung Hudana, IPS officer, Tintina, Maram Sadana, Masi, Tangai Festival Gamari Lena, IDP Singa, Munaviki Toto Mada, Sanakununga, get Tinduna, Yam the loser the Bamonga, and the Masida Biriba, Furu Kudimanga, Ikaikum, Navagaloina, Mapantang get Balon Humsubati, like a cartoon Sangliva. Barat the Ladiva, Tanakunung Mayam, Punamakagi, Loina Sigro Matunga, Hingoin and Ladiva, Iram the Masigi, Kangapaga Sigi, Tanakununga, Yamna Taxicasi Yaudana, Nangma Havigi Monga, Illaga, Namkairaga, Sangaga, Ledum Liva, Musingu, Sibising, Loina, Leva Mayambu, a fair Pangani Haiduna, Nangatorambasi, Sanakunungi, Maikiji, Akalnamong, the Contemporary, the Manipuri governor, Su, Saba, IPS officer Sigi Matakta, Excel Local Piu, Haina, Sanakuning, Maikiji, a Piltuk. Adu yamna when white of the into Mafamda, IDP sing a large Hutori was said, Mafam Sidigi, Sanakunung, the Tolokani, Sanakunung, the Hansangi, Aina Sasto was said, Masi, Sanakunung, Yabungam Loy, Sangai Festival, Toba Natraga talk the Bahiva to the Natragam Yangi, the Makati Tona, Adum Lepa, Yangi, Apama, the village have a Pamtams.
On the other hand, PA to the Rajya Sabha, MPs Maishnam Shivdatta also condemned the IGP's act in the strongest term while narrating the incident. He also demanded stringent action against the IGP.
ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯏꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯁꯦ Honorable MP se Y plus security ne Y plus security amagi area da magi jaga da akoigi huji karigumba khara mayamgi akoigi kai haitare miyamgi oiba iho amana karigumba ama thokadore se moine hena khangabane khangagadi mafam se moine ningthina ngaksen ba haibase mogi mathau ne ngarang nahan dasu oningdaba thogdo ama swaigi akoigi jaga sigi keno sida bom thamba khotpagi matang dasu akoi complain tawba leikre hairibasi khitang ningthina ngaksen biu khotpiu routine patrolling chapiu kaina akoi haigi ba leikre ana asigumba phimda position da leiriba akoigi chingtam animangna akoigi ko nonjariba kai khunajariba loinana Honorable MP oiriba Y plus security oiriba iningthogi gate sida ngasi moigi asoiba moigi asonba mayam singdo madu kupsanba yanabagi damakta mathau phaba sadana iningthogi gate sida mayamna laiba kalaga sangiba gate sida masaida namkhairaga gate to namkhairaga sangakpa mathau tawjariba hanadagi masaida thodo wathok mayam thokrabanina mathau ningthina tawriba mayam singdo line up tawhandana madaido da FIR pani adu tawni na photo kaptana singba tawba na adigi konung sidagi loina ma hairiba ITP mayam si yoga thammaga madaido da khoi mayamna irang se honbagi moongda madu hairam singse masi khoi yam nuaijade khoi Honorable MP ki office ki maiki dagi su khoi Honorable Governor da hairiba se khoi necessary action lokho piu suspend tobiu aloina na masi tawdri bawdi khoi makha taba atei leiriba khoi gi atopa higher up ta khoi madu che thaba madugi process to khoi chathagi gani.
Bishnupur Deputy Commissioner Pooja Ilangbam has appealed for concerted efforts in conserving the critically endangered Sangai deer, which has seen slight increase in number to 250 due to conservation efforts made by Forest Department and people of Kaibul Lamjau in recent years. DC Pooja Ilangbam was speaking during curtain raiser event of Manipur Sangai Festival, which was held at Kaibul Lamjau today. Speaking further, Pooja Ilangbam described the unique nature of Sangai deer and its unique habitat of Kaibul Lamjau. While stressing on its contribution in boosting the tourism sector of the state, Pooja Ilangbam urged all to contribute in the conservation of this rare deer species. She also assured to apprise Tourism Department for organizing the Sangai Festival with Kaibul as a major venue. As part of curtain raiser, a Sangai run was organized from Chandapur ground to Kaibul Makhalekai ground. The event was also marked by various cultural performances along with a costume and fashion designer textile show.
Conservation and preservation से forest department की officials म्याम खतंग नतबा अकोई की कैबुल की लाइरिबा अकोई की प्रजा सिंह ना यामिन नरगा है ना चौखट नबा अदुगा मोई की सु फसन preserve तो बगी वारी सिसु ताजरे अदुगा याम न थागचरी 1950s अदाई ददी संगाई से extinct ओइरे है ना लाउथोमा बने अदुई मतुंग दा संगाई की animal सिंह खरा discover तोर आगा मोई से हिंगत नबा अदुगा है ना thrive तो नबा ना अकोई की forest department official singa khoi praja singa pudna hotna menarga hujikti around 250 tangai animals hujik khoi gi Kaibul Lamjau National Park ta uba phange adugi mayam gi efforts mayamna oirakan sida khoi gi sangai jam ka hinghalakpani aduga khoi gi Manipur gi yamna top pa yamna maming taklaba sangai si hoji khoi mayam punna adum preserve tawmenasi.
RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat has arrived at Imphal on a 3-day visit to strife-torn Manipur. He landed at the Imphal International Airport at around 10:30 a.m. today. The RSS Chief's tour is said to be part of the RSS centenary celebrations and is expected to hold a series of meetings with community representatives both in Imphal Valley and in hill districts, while some media speculating his visit as a calibrated move on the part of the Sangh that could shape the state's political and administrative future. Now, before we move on, it's time for a short commercial break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Zina Emporium na London Masigi Ningol Singidamakta Akan na Pujarakli Rani Full Walk Lottery Lakli ba December gitang tara mangada Imphal East District ke New Second Traffic Point da sukshoy na pangthok jaragani. Lupa sahum kaktamo piba ticket amatang kapiraga. Lamdam masigi ningol singbu sogat poina idam dam masigi iyonggi pibu balen da masak taklasi.
Pizariba GP number asuda sel thibiraga madugi screenshot adu number asimakta da WhatsApp ke khutanga thabiraktuna adongi ticket book tawbiba yagani.
Hena akupa morol gidamak mobile number 9233987901 natragana Zina Emporium gi social media gi handle singda contact tobiyo.
Welcome back. You're watching SKTV Primetime English News. More news and updates. Chairperson of Manipur State Commission for Women, MSCW, Tumlip Tiningfang Monsang, has emphasized on the importance of women to understand their legal rights in order to effectively handle the issues faced by women in the society. The chairperson of MSCW was speaking during one-day awareness program, which was jointly organized by MSCW and Women's Cell of Sri Sri Guru Govind Girls College today. Retired District and Session Judge Aribam Nautuneshwari attended the program as resource person, while Principal of Sri Sri Guru Govind Girls College, Dr. K. Jabusakhi, Vice Principal Dr. H. Anita, MSCW members Lorimbam Dayabati, T. Chongsin Koireng, S.K. Sophia Moyon, Member Secretary W. Fazatombi and Convener of Women's Cell Dr. S. Nilima also attended the program, which was held on the theme Legal Rights of Women. Speaking further, Chairperson Tumlip Tiningfang Monsang urged women to understand their legal rights and to stand firm against any violence committed on women. She appealed women to raise their complaint or concerns by calling the Women Helpline number 181 of Social Welfare Department or at one-stop centers set up at all districts.
Manipur State Commission for Women legal rights of women sikari sigi bisoi si topic sikari lokapra heragadi akoi sangbidan na nupi singbu empower tawrai nupi su henda chawkhan nangai gi legal provisions mayam pi ko constitution na kana gumbana tamba mi na dikhang bai wani adu kana gumbana di tamba mi na tamdaba mi na dikhang daba maram da asi akoi gi damak yam darkar wiba mai wakat phang leidabagi siba mayam nupi sing su leibneba adu kari no hairagadi sigumba constitutional people rights su khangdaba adugo redressal mechanism mafam da the government na thambiba si su khangdaba mi singda adugumba do thokpani ba ko aduna adugumba do thoktana ngai ne koi da zungna awareness pangthopasi.
Director of Institute of Cooperative Management, Imphal, Dr. K.H. Ramanando, has pinned his hope on cooperative sector to boost the fragile economy of Manipur. He has asserted that Manipur can become a self-reliant state through success in cooperative sector. Dr. Ramanando was speaking during closing day function of 2-week-long 72nd All India Cooperative Week celebration, which was held on the theme Cooperative as Vehicles for Atmanirbhar Bharat. Speaking further, Dr. Ramanando stressed on the prospect of cooperative sector in providing livelihood to people and in enhancing the standard of living. He further urged people in the sector to work towards achieving the goals of cooperate.
Cooperative society, cooperative business enterprise asina aikoigi self reliant oinaba upai amani lambil amani haibasigi matangda main theme oiraga aikoina handaki cooperative week se pangthok chabani aina mayamda message pijaning bachi cooperative is the only way of life ngasi manipur gi oiba yamna soklaba semit lon ase cooperative ki through da soidana manipur si nungai ba yai pe laibak ama oi ba yai haibase mayamda share tawjari aduga.
Social activist and advisor of Peace Committee Kanglei Park, Manipur, PCKM, Ningthincha Sanayama, underlined the importance of curbing substance abuse and adhering to the social norms and ethical values of the Meitei society in the effort towards containing crimes commission against women. He was speaking on the sidelines of extending financial assistance to the maternal family of a woman who was allegedly found hanging at her husband's residence on November 9. Speaking further, Sanayama also stressed the need for collective efforts and holding a sustained movement towards crime commission against women. Sanayama was accompanied by several members of PCKM, including its president, K.H. Rajesh.
Itata so to talk kwasi token danaba akoi kunai rolgi amadi yuma longi lamda yamna hen wakal tamina so taba amasung madu akoi kun leka de leba para private club singna here message ta punging changaga anda kista to thodoksi machine example am oiraga akoi makai yuna kunai goina iho macha sarpam changan khal.
Jiribam Forest Division, along with Jiribam Police, apprehended 5 tipper trucks carrying forest products illegally at Lengapokpi yesterday. The seized items, which include 66 cubic meters stone chips and boulder stones, were found carrying on the trucks, bearing registration numbers AS11BC9522, AS09BC0521, MN06T3235, MZ06A2015 and MP09DU4286 without obtaining transit pass from the authorities concerned, and by defying the Indian Forest, Manipur Amendment 2018, Manipur Forest Rule 2021 and the order issued by High Court of Manipur on July 9, 2019. The truck drivers were produced before the Court of the Judicial Magistrate First Class. Authorities also registered a preliminary offence report in this connection and initiated other necessary legal process. Security forces, in collaboration with Kangpokpi Forest Division, destroyed poppy plants cultivated over a total area of approximately 53 acres across 6 locations of Phailenkot to Makhan Hill ranges under Kobru Reserve Forest area under Gamnom Sabarmena Police Station, Kangpokpi District. According to police reports, during the operation, 7 farm huts and 35 packets of salt found at the sites were also destroyed. Siko Club Yai School Janmastan organized Liangmai Imphal Market at Hicham Yaichampat Yai School Janmastan today, continuing the series of collaborative hill and valley markets. They even saw a large turnout of Liangmai vendors, bringing fresh produce, drawing enthusiastic response from consumers. Speaking to media persons, vegetable vendors expressed satisfaction, stating that such platforms help them sell their produce with ease and foster stronger ties between hill and valley communities. Organizers informed that the next Liangmai Imphal market will be held next Thursday at Netaji Memorial Club Ground, Kurai Kongpal, and appeal to the public to participate and make the event a success. A day-long workshop on manuscript conservation was held at State Central Library Hall in Kaisampat today. The workshop was jointly organized by Directorate of Art and Culture, Government of Manipur, in association with National Archives of India, NAI. Retired IAS and former Commissioner of Art and Culture, R.K. Nimai, Deputy Director of NAI, Nauribam Raju, Director of Art and Culture, K. Dinamani, Scientific Officer of NAI, P.K. Mishra, Archivist of NAI, Dr. Tingam Sanjeev, former microphotographist Nauribam Indramani and Director of Mutua Museum, Mutua Bahadur, graced the program as resource persons. Speaking in the program, R.K. Nimai highlighted the importance of preserving ancient manuscripts, noting that many invaluable records from the era of Maharaja Pamheba were written on paper, bark and cloth. He added that real archival materials are priceless and irreplaceable. Expressing concern over the loss of historical authenticity, he cited examples from Tibetan and Mongolian histories, which are largely documented by outsiders. He stressed the need to distinguish genuine manuscripts from fake ones and warned that many rare documents, such as the late 19th century sketches of Kangla, is at risk of disappearance if not properly preserved. Two-week-long international research methodology workshop program kicked off at the auditorium of Standard College in Kongba today. The workshop is being jointly organized by Standard College Kongba in association with Southeastern University of Sri Lanka, Indian Sociological Society, New Delhi and Integrated Institute of Disaster Management, Tamil Nadu on the theme Bridging Paradigms, Global Training on Mixed Methods. Principal of Standard College, Professor Mairimbam Suresh, Principal of Imphal College, Dr. Mairimbam Chandra, Principal of Kakching Kunal College, Oinam Binoy, Assistant Professor of Department of Sociology, Guru Nanak College, Tamil Nadu, Dr. J. Bennett Rajadurai, Founder MD of IIDM, Dr. K. Vasudevan, Research Scholar P. Divagar and Dean of Faculty of Arts and Culture, Southeastern University of Sri Lanka, Professor M.M. Fazil, attended the opening day program. A memorandum of understanding was also signed between Standard College and Southeastern University of Sri Lanka during the program. St. Vincent's School, Pangmol, Kangpokpi District, celebrated its annual day on 19 November 2025 with great enthusiasm and excitement. The event was attended by ZEO Kangpokpi Madam Joshi Haukip, OC Kangpokpi Functional President Henmin Thangkip Gen and Dr. Elizabeth Baite, officials from different government departments and organizations, parents and students. Reverend Father Philip Baite released annual report during the program, while school captain and students showcased their talents through various performances of dance, music skit and others. During the event, prize and certificate were awarded to winners of various competitions held throughout the academic year, and HSLC 2025 topper Leisensen Lovum was awarded Academic Excellence Award. Speakers deliberated on motivating students to strive for excellence, to foster a sense of community building and patriotism. Moving on in the national news. Supreme Court of India today held that the court cannot impose any timelines for decisions of the President and the Governor on granting assent to bills under Articles 200 and 201 of the Constitution. A 5-judge bench of Supreme Court stressed that the actions of the President or Governors are not justiciable and judicial review can be invoked only when a bill becomes a law. This comes in response to President Draupadi Murmu's questions to the top court following a 2-judge bench's verdict in the Tamil Nadu governor case that effectively set a deadline for the President and governors to clear bills passed by the legislature. The President had also asked if the exercise of constitutional discretion by the President under Article 201 of the Constitution of India is justiciable. President Draupadi Murmu had cited Article 361 of the Constitution, which says the President or the Governor shall not be answerable to any court for the exercise of powers and duties of office. In response, the Apex Court has clarified that timelines for decisions of the President and the Governor on granting assent to bills cannot be imposed. At the same time, the court observed if there is a prolonged or unexplained delay by the Governor which frustrates the legislative process, then the court can exercise a limited power of judicial review to direct the Governor to decide in a time-bound manner without observing anything on the merits of the bill. Janata Dal United Chief Nitish Kumar has sworn in as Chief Minister of Bihar for a record 10th time at a ceremony that was held at Gandhi Maidan in Patna today. Altogether, 26 cabinet ministers took oath, out of which 14 are from BJP, 8 from JDU, 2 from LJP, RV and 1 each from HAMS and RLM. Governor Arif Muhammad Khan administered the oath of office and secrecy to them. The swearing-in ceremony was attended by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Union Home Minister Amit Shah, BJP National President JP Nadda and several other top leaders of the NDA. The event was also attended by the chief ministers of several NDA-ruled states. It may be mentioned that in the recently concluded polls, the NDA won a landslide victory, winning 202 seats, with the Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, emerging as the largest party with 89 seats, and Janata Dal United, second largest, with 85 seats. And in the weather report, according to ICAR Regional Center Lamphel, state's maximum temperature was recorded at 27.6 degrees Celsius, while the minimum temperature was 14 degrees Celsius. The maximum relative humidity was measured to be 92% in the morning and 45% in the evening. Now, before we wrap up, let's take a quick look at the headlines once again. Scuffle erupts between protesters and security forces during agitation against Sangai Festival. Kokomi condemns security's action, calls for mass protest tomorrow. Internally displaced persons of multiple relief camps hold protests, condemning the Sangai Festival, asserts the festival is insensitive to their sufferings and looming uncertainty. Vishnupur DC Pujai Langbam calls for collective efforts in conserving the critically endangered Sangai deer. Launches curtain raiser for Sangai Festival at Pebul Lamchau. Supreme Court of India says timelines cannot be imposed on President and governors to grant assent to bills under Article 200 and 201 of Constitution. And JDU leader Nitish Kumar takes over as Chief Minister of Bihar for record 10th time. Prime Minister Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah attend oath-taking ceremony. Now that's all we have for today's Primetime English News. Thank you for watching SKTV. Keep watching for more news and updates. Have a good night.